What's up? What's up, man? It's been a minute, huh? Definitely has been a minute. I'ma let IG do what it do. Start sending out notifications before I jump right into this. I see you guys trickling in. I'ma let IG do what it do. Start sending out notifications, letting everybody know I'm back. It's been a minute. We gonna talk that shit today. Let everybody know. Send out y'all invites. Let everybody tune in. I know we got your girl on today, so be supportive, be engaging. Do the like sign symbols, the hearts, whatever. Send out Barber symbols. Let's do it. Let's get it going. Let's represent. Like I said, share the wealth. Let everybody know we going live. We got MP Faded coming through. So we gonna jump in, we gonna get it going, but like I said, I'm gonna let IG do what it do and start sending out notifications. See another one trickling in. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate the support. I know you guys here to support your girl. So let everybody know we gonna get live. We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about the journey, the growth, everything. I see you. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. Everybody else keep doing the same thing. You guys have questions, you guys could put it in the inbox. Myself or Nancy will get to it, but we will definitely try to answer everybody's questions today. If you just want to say hello, wave, you can do all that as well. All right, so I sent my guest their invite for them to jump on. So shortly she will be on and we can get it started. Let me know if you guys can hear me clearly. Let me know if you guys can see me. I want to make sure this is as comfortable for you as it is for me. Appreciate it. Thank you. What's up, Brandon? Hey, I haven't forgot about you, man. I, I know we've been going back and forth trying to get this going, but I know you did your relocation. I know you getting started and grooving with everything that you're doing. But I definitely want to have you on my show because I definitely want to hear your journey, speak your truth, elevation, whatever you love and want to share. I definitely want to have you on my channel. So we gonna get it. I promise you. Definitely, definitely, 100%. I believe Nancy, I saw you jump on. Whenever you're ready, let me know if you need me to send the invite again. You can jump into the text messaging. Just bear with me, y'all. Like I said, Send send out information to your friends if they want to tune in. They want to learn more about the barber industry. We got a young lady that's been doing her thing. 17 time award nominee in the barbering expos. Challenging herself in every category and killing it. So I definitely want to talk about that. You know, um, I know it's always seemed like it's two sided when it's a woman barber and guys barber, but I'm here to collaborate it all in one because we're all one unit. It's not just women barbers, it's guys barbers, it's barbers. So it's not letting me join. It's not letting you join. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I sent the invite to you again. See if it lets you log in.
All right, there we go.
Modesto.
How's it going?
How you doing? You know
I'm
what's
doing
funny?
good.
I only heard of that location from the movie with Ice Cube and and I can't think of the other dude, but it was like Modesto where they was like bookies and it was I think
I have no clue. I hardly
yeah.
watch movies.
But that was the only time I heard of that location, and then when you said I'm from there, I was like, "Oh, that's crazy."
Yeah. I technically don't really live here. I just come here to work. I live half an hour away.
Oh, damn. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's dedication right there. You hear that,
Uh,
y'all? A half an hour away to go cut some hair, get everybody sharped up in order
uh,
for their daily routine, and she's doing an hour away. So y'all definitely should love her.
no, yeah, it's because where I live, it's just such a small town. I can't stay in a small town.
Okay.
And so I have to leave, I mean, I cut there for several years and it's just not like somewhere I want to be. I don't want to um, be cutting in a small town.
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, you got to elevate. You got to take your talents to the next area that's going to truly love and appreciate
For
it.
sure.
Yeah, see your value. But I just want to say thank you. Truly, it's an honor to have you on my platform. I just want to really highlight and share your journey, your your growth, whatever you're willing to share to help everyone. Like I was saying before, I know we're still in the class of like dividing, and it shouldn't be no divide in our industry. We should be collectively learning from each other, growing from each other, and taking our business, our industry to the next level.
That's true.
So I hate when they be like, "Oh, she's a lady barber. She's a girl barber." No, she's a barber. She's a hairstylist. She's licensed. She's she's probably half better than half of the guys that's in this industry. So I just sometimes I just want to eliminate all the labeling and then just put us all in one category. But we might shine in certain areas of our craft that might make us different. But it
That's
shouldn't be
right.
like, oh, she's a girl barber or she's just a woman barber. No, I'm a hairstylist. I cut hair. I might be doing women hair, or maybe I do guys hair, and I might do guys hair way better than you.
That's true. That is very true. Or even vice versa. Like sometimes the men are really good in
Yeah,
like hairstyling for the women, and like they become great hairstylists. So I feel like just in any type of like industry itself, there's no like gender specific rules. Like,
yeah,
yeah, like somebody may be a little bit better at some, like, they have all pros and cons. So somebody might be better at one thing than somebody else, but
yeah,
it doesn't necessarily mean that it's like it should be divided in gender wise. Like, that's just something I always kind of put myself away from. Like, I try to never really say like, oh, that's a man, like a man thing to do. Sorry, or like it's a male thing to do. Like I
yeah.
don't typically generalize it like that, so I just go with the flow. And everybody's capable of doing it as long as they put in the work and the effort. That's how I think about things.
Yeah. I love that. Put in the work and the effort,
a
and it will
hundred
take
percent
you where you need to go. First off, what I like to always um, I guess, share about my platform is that when I speak, talk your barber shit, it's not to come on here, bash anybody,
Mhm.
talk down about the industry. It's about sharing your path, talk your shit, talk your journey. Because it's someone that might look at this video today or may look at it down the road and come across you and be like, dang, she was where I once was. And
Exactly.
where I'm feeling and how do I take it to the next level? Maybe they're in a whole different atmosphere. Like they
Mhm.
might be doing something else. And like myself, I never thought about doing hair. I never
Mhm.
thought, I did my hair, but I never thought I was going to be doing other people's hair. But maybe somebody's sparking it into them and tell them, hey, maybe you should try this. Maybe you should do this. I see it in you, but maybe you don't see it in yourself. And then maybe you might say something today that might get them to go, hey, let me
Yeah,
pick up that
exactly.
phone. Let me call somebody. Let me go be an apprentice at this shop I always been visiting half my life.
No, yeah,
so,
and it
so
can happen like that. It
yeah.
really does.
So I want to talk about you. I want to talk about where it all started, how it started, who influenced you, if it was influence, or maybe you just woke up and was like, "Hey, I love this, and I'm gonna figure out how I can get to that next level." Where did it all come from?
So my story is kind of weird. So I
I
never
like the
saw
weird ones.
myself like I never ever saw myself actually being a barber. Like me and my sister, even like when we were younger, my mom would sometimes just buzz my brother's hair and stuff. So we would get hair in our clothes and stuff, and we would always like tell like my mom like, "Mom, like stop washing our clothes with the boys' clothes when you cut their hair because it bothered us so much. It's itchy,
Yeah,
you know."
yeah,
She would understand, and then so I never really thought it would become my career later down the road. Um, it's kind of like a touchy subject, so if I do shed a tear or some like just know like it really like it's some I want to get it out because I
yeah,
feel like how you said a lot of people they may like come from the same spot or something.
yeah.
But I I had a car accident when I had just graduated high school. I had a car accident and I had to leave aside like my dream career.
Okay.
So if you like truly know me, you'll know this now. But everybody knows I love soccer. I always wanted to be a professional soccer player, and since I was a little kid, that was like always my goal. I want to be a professional soccer player. That's what I'm gonna do. And unfortunately, like I had that car accident. It was right before we started preseason training and everything, and I didn't get the opportunity anymore to be able to be on the field how I would want to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it wasn't my fault. I was rear-ended at a very high speed. I got rear-ended at 75 miles an hour. And the person that rear-ended me, didn't really, they didn't get any type of real big injuries, but I did. So, like my back's messed up, my left knee, my wrist, my neck, everything's like really like it's. I don't talk about it much, and I try not to show it, but
Yeah.
like I am in pain. Um, I needed a surgery. If I did do the surgery, um, I wouldn't be able to play soccer anymore. And this was a decision that I made over, I think it was like, it took me about 4 years and a half to figure this out. But 4 years and a half went by and I was told I would never step foot on the field again. So long story short, I kind of had to figure like I felt so lost because my whole life everything has been soccer, soccer, soccer. So that was just something that tore me apart. Not being able to play something that I always wanted to do, and as a kid like I always wanted to do that. So doctors told me no more soccer, and I had to. It was really hard and brutal. Like I was really depressed and
Yeah.
yeah, so I had that, and then when they told me that I needed the surgery, I made the decision I wasn't gonna get it, and they would fuse my back, so I would never actually be able to like play, or else like you're gonna be in a wheelchair for the rest of your life after that if you get injured.
Wow.
So I was working, and every time like I would go to work, it didn't feel right. Like I was working full time, and my brother would start coming home, and he would always complain like, hey, like I'm getting he was like, I think he was in like fifth or sixth grade or something like that. He was always telling my parents like, I'm getting bullied at school. They're telling me that my brother has a widow's peak right here.
Okay.
They call me McDonald's hairline, and just stuff like that. And so my parents, they didn't really pay too much attention. They're Hispanics, and they were just like, well, we'll like figure it out. Like you're fine, you know. And they just brushed it off. And well, for me, like I'm the older sister of four, so I looked at it as like they're making fun of my brother. Like, what can I do about it? And so there was a period that like I couldn't really work because my back flared up really bad, and so I was just there in bed rest for a good minute. And so I was watching videos. I would just spend all day watching videos, and um, it was just something that like it caught my attention. And my brother was getting bullied over it. He was getting regular like haircuts, a one on the sides, and like a three on the top or a four, and then just like a little bit longer right here so that they could just kind of comb it up.
Mhm.
And I remember I started watching those videos, and it was just so satisfying seeing the beginning of the haircut and seeing the end result. So I took some time watching that, and there was a specific day that my brother, he just started crying hysterically, and he told my mom, like, I don't want to go to school because they're bullying me, and I don't want to go. So I told my mom not to take him, and so I did the haircut, using like those clippers from Walmart.
Yeah.
So I used those. My mom had some of those, and so I used those, and they still had the cord and everything. So, I hooked them up, and I started it, and it took me hours. I remember I was there hours, but I did an actual design on him that day too. And so he goes to
Oh wow.
school, happy as can be. And he comes home, and he's like, hey, like they liked my haircut. They were asking who did it and who did the design. And I told them my sister did it. And so, funny story is that the kid that was bullying my brother actually asked him if he could ask his barber to cut his hair because he wanted the same design.
That's
And when my
crazy.
brother told me that, I was like, no, like I'm not cutting his hair. I told him like, tell him I'm not cutting it. Like, I'm sorry, but no. And so I was like, it's funny how he was bullying you, and then all of a sudden you have a haircut. Like, no, like I'm not doing this for fun.
Yeah.
And so I basically did it to kind of teach him a lesson that sometimes like you don't get what you want, and especially after you mistreat people, you absolutely don't get what you want. And
Right.
so yeah, that was the start of it, and I started doing my brother's hair. Uh, my dad's, my cousins, my uncles, and then this was like during COVID as well. So like, people started hitting me up like, hey, like, can you cut my hair because all the barbershops were like closing down, and some were like doing it on the DL, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I started getting a lot more practice in, and I feel like I got pretty good with the designs pretty fast. Um, just because I'm very creative, and I like to draw. I like to like do all that kinds of like artsy stuff. And I started seeing that that was where like it was gonna be my strong side, because I just it was so intriguing to me. Like, okay, you're taking away hair, but you can also leave hair to leave like a different type of contrast. And I started like seeing it different. And I remember there was a point where I was working, and I would have to come home from working full time and then come home and cut hair. And it was just too much. It was too much on my hands. And that's where I decided, I think it was like maybe like a good 3 years, I believe. And then I decided, you know what? I'm going to stop working full time. And I remember my parents, they looked at me, and they were like, no, you're not. Like,
Yeah.
no, you're not. Like, that's not even what you're actually going to do. So, I remember I made the decision, and I did it on the spot. I was like, no, like I'm not gonna work no more. Like I'm gonna make this my full time job, and if it works, great. And if it doesn't, oh well. Like at least I know I tried. And yeah, I stopped working full time, and I went all into barbering. And I did that for maybe like a whole couple, like 2 more years, I think. And I wasn't able to go right into school, just because I was on the go all the time. My grandparents would get ill, and I'm a big family person, so I would leave what I was doing since I was just so easy, and go and take my mom to LA and stuff like that, just to kind of be around like my family when it was necessary. And so it took me a good minute to actually like sit down and actually want to go to school and have the time to be able to take care of that. So I finally decided to go to school last year in January,
Okay.
and I barely actually got my license in September of last year. So this year I'm barely gonna
Ain't no,
hit a
ain't
year.
no, ain't no barely.
Barely, barely. Unfortunately, it's a barely, but I mean, I have the experience, and sometimes you don't necessarily know if it, because at first I didn't think it was like I just did it for my brother, and I didn't think it was gonna lead to all of this, and as time goes by, you start finding yourself and seeing different parts of you that you didn't necessarily know.
Yeah,
Um, and I think the biggest thing for me is seeing how you can impact like other people's lives.
yeah,
Seeing the way that they come in sometimes and they're like all down, and like they've had a long week, and their hair is all grown out all over the place, and
yeah,
they're sitting in your chair, and you just leave them so fresh, and their confidence is like out of the freaking roof. And
yeah,
like it's just like the different feel, like being able to like physically see that, because you can see like the light come to their face. Like I don't know, like it's just something about it whenever they're there and you see it with your own eyes. It's just different. But a lot of people don't understand that too. That you can fall in love with what you do. Like I can, like I can actually say I love what I do. Like I love cutting hair, and that's like it's an issue sometimes, but I genuinely love doing what I
you
do
said it's
now.
an issue.
It's an issue sometimes. Trust me, it can be an issue. But like it's one of those things. I fell in love with the process, and I'm thankful to have people around me that they showed me like parts of the process I didn't necessarily take the time to recognize. But I kind of just wanted to do this as well. Like it just was an escape to see if I wanted to also, if I could actually prove the doctors wrong. And so I knew that I could have time back to myself if I worked hard enough to get there. So, like actually 2 years ago, I went back to like 3 years ago, 3 years now. I went back to playing soccer, and
Oh,
knowing the risks that I still have, I can potentially be injured pretty severely.
yeah,
But I still don't lose hope in that. Like I at the time when those words like came out of the doctor's mouth, like you're never gonna play soccer again. Like it was tough, but you know your own body. You know how to, if your body's telling you you can't do it no more, then you got to listen. But I feel like there's more in me, and that's what kind of keeps me alive, like in this whole process, like continue to push, push, push. And hopefully it one day it happens. But for me it's more of like I'm doing something I love while trying to figure out if I can do something else that I love to do too. So last year I was able to go try out for a semi-pro team, and I made the second team, but I didn't make the first team. And that was like kind of just a start, just to see where I was at. I threw myself in the fire, and I'm not at the level I used to be anymore, and I have to work myself all the way back up again, and even better now. But this last year, I was able to try it again, and I was able to register with the team this time for the first team. But now it's working on getting that time in. So it's kind of like a super slow process because it's only in the summer when we have the season. So that's my process, and up until this point now. So we'll see and continue to grow and see where all of this kind of blooms. So
no, but I, l- I love the journey. I love everything that you said from how. Let me before we do one thing before I jump into this.
uh-huh.
Um, I want to ask people: are you able to see me clear, and are you able to see her clearly? Because it seemed like on my end, I can't see you that clear. So I didn't want to interrupt.
You can't see me that clear. Let me see. Let me
Yeah. So I
put.
want to make sure. I want to make sure everybody can see you clearly.
Does that look better?
Jeez. Yeah, it says you're a bitch. You're a little blurry and it's a little glitchy.
Mm,
They said I'm clear, but you're a little blurry.
it's connected to the Wi-Fi, but is that better? Or is that still?
What are those saying? They was asking if you're a Wi-Fi. Yes, you go Wi-Fi.
I just took it off, so.
Yeah, it's funny. It's about the same.
Oh, see, yours is blurry too now.
So
Mine.
mine's is blurry. Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Is that better?
We could just work with it.
I took the Wi-Fi off and I put it back on. Let's see if that
Uh,
works.
it's funny. They said now both are blurry.
Oh,
All right, am I blurry to you?
a little bit.
A little bit. Hmm, that's crazy. But you said I was clear earlier.
Yeah, you were clear, and then now you're blurry a little bit.
Hmm. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's Instagram live. Maybe once we start going on, it might
It'll
be clear up a little bit. Yeah.
maybe. It was. I
But no, no.
swear, it looked clear for a little minute. Yeah, now it's glitching.
Oh,
If
I'm
I,
glitching now.
yeah, it's like it slowed down a little bit on the side.
Hmm.
Let's see. Maybe if I. Should I
I
like?
gotta I could log out and maybe log back in.
Maybe. Should I
So
connect
I
it?
said,
Because I disconnected it, but it still kind of looks the same.
let me ask everybody before we jump out. Should we jump out, jump back in, or should we just continue? I'm up. Yeah, I'm gonna log back. I'm gonna log out and then I'm gonna log back in. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, y'all. I know it's been glitching. It's probably live Instagram, but we're gonna get it going. We're gonna restart it back up and see what happens. Okay. Sorry about that. You're perfectly fine, but your screen is just blurry. Appreciate that.
Is that better?
How is it for you? For me?
I mean, it doesn't look too bad. It looks decent.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just run with
Do I do
it.
I look do I look pixelated?
A little bit.
Okay, now you got good quality.
Okay. So I
Do I
look
look
clear.
pixelated, Messiah? He's all like, yeah, I'll just don't you. Nah, I'm impressive.
They say they could hear us clearly, but it just they could hear us very well, but it just like the screens
It's a
are a
little,
little blurry. Yeah,
yeah, it's just a little bit.
but you still look amazing.
Should I take off the Wi-Fi?
I think you took it off earlier and it still
Yeah,
came in.
I connected it back on. I don't know if that makes a difference at all, but
I think when you had it off, you was a little bit more clear.
okay. How about now? Is that better?
A little better.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'll leave it that way.
All right. Let's just go. So
All right.
I wanna chime back into the beginning. Um, and I love that you shared something that was very passionate to you that had you now have to refine something that will give you the same love. And what it wasn't like truly barbering, but it was the moment of seeing someone not like in a crisis, but almost in a crisis or somewhat. But you felt like now I'm gonna take this energy that I had in this, and now I'm gonna bring it over here, and now I'm gonna make this work because I'm shining light and love to someone that needs me. And now I'm a groom in so many ways. You groom it. You groomed him. You
Yeah.
groomed yourself into a whole like different spirit and a whole different realm. So it's crazy, like like you said, to have love and passion for something and to see it being taken away. And maybe at that moment you feel like, damn, why is this happening to me? Why is something that I feel like I'm truly great at and I know I can kill it and I know I could do wonderful things with it, but now it's shifting away from me, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
But now, but look in the position that it carried you in.
Yes.
Look how you developed it. Look how you saw something else in you that maybe you saw before, but it was like it was just for fun.
Yeah.
But now you're making a livelihood, a career. You're embracing it. You're embracing others. You're showing others a new way of growth, a new way of living, a new inspiration. Like you're now almost now the vocal and image of maybe the person you didn't think you were supposed to be, but now you are to someone else that's looking at you and like, damn. Like you said, now when you someone sits in your hair in your chair and they're going through whatever they're going through, that honestly takes you back to like your brother being in that moment where he felt like everything was against him, all the odds was against him, but then you tweaked it. You turned all that negative into a shining moment for him to look at the negative person that was in his life now wants to be his best friend and get it that same haircut. But
Exactly.
I love that now you're jumping back into your true love, but now you're gonna take all the energy that you took in this barber industry, and now you're gonna take it there as well because you said, "I didn't make first team, but I know I'm gonna do what I got to do to make first team," and that's what you did with this barbering. You knew that, hey, I got to learn. I'm gonna take these raggedy clippers that I
They're
know
so
nobody
bad.
nobody really use, but I'm gonna turn these into a magical wand and I'm gonna shape this haircut for my brother and now look at him and now look how he's moving and strutting and that's gonna be you and all your levers of what you're trying to do. Um I feel like barbering is definitely the core of everything. It's a life. It's definitely a life cycle, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
truly how yeah how you use it and how you develop it and like you said how you touch people in a way that they never thought. Maybe like you said, they walked in, they might have the worst day. They might have just got fired. They might have just broken up with someone.
Mhm.
They might have just experienced a tragedy, a loss. But this haircut it's gonna make them feel like a brand new person.
Correct.
So, in in this moment of your journey, what is it that you feel that is still? I know, like you said, you're looking at that next journey with soccer, but what is it the next journey that you want to still elevate and take to the next level in barbering as well?
So it's funny that you actually bring that up because I'm working myself up into going into different creative styles in barbering. I feel like I kind of had to step aside from competing a little bit, so I can see a different world. Because as you guys all kind of know, like I do compete in like freestyles, women's categories, and tag team too. But I took a step aside to learn. new techniques, because I feel like I know how to cut hair like to a pretty good extent, but I'm never content. So I want to learn new techniques. I want to learn, new hairstyles. I want to become an educator at some point. Teach people what I'm doing now. Like I do. I love teaching people anything that I know and I struggled with. Like I think it's just knowing that I needed that help and I did. I don't know if like you guys kind of know this yet, but I'm self-taught. Like everything that like I taught myself and I figured it out with trial and error. Um, there was two things that I learned in Barber College, and that was how to do a flat top and a little bit of shear work, and that was about it.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was where I realized that you have to do a lot of the work, even when people try to stop you. You always have to push forward, no matter what. There's gonna be people trying to talk in your ear, like you're already behind a chair. Be grateful that you're behind a chair.
Right.
And, that's all there really is to barbering. That's a lie. That's a big lie that, a lot of people try to, get you to stop growing.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's one of the biggest things for me is I'm never content. I always want the next thing. So if I master something, I always want the next thing. So for me, I feel like I'm always going to be working on to something else. Um, whether that becomes color, sheer work specifically, like I'm open to everything. Like I don't have a specific thing like that I 100% want to focus on. I love learning a lot.
Yeah.
So for me it's just everything keeps me going because I'm never content. So I don't know, like it's just there's so many things that I want to continue to do. Like I wanted to become a judge, and now I'm judging. The categories that
Sure.
like I used to compete in, and I take that at heart too because I know what it feels like when you go to compete, and then you're like, what did I do wrong? What was it? That I could have done better. Like I take all of that in consideration. So even now, going to the events and being able to have the opportunity to judge other people's work, I take that into consideration to judge it properly. I look at every small detail. I don't care if they're my friends. I don't care if I've worked with them. Like I'm not biased. Like I go by like the work itself. That's like one thing that is like I hate it when people they talk about that like, oh, like they only won because of this. Like no, I'm not like that. Like even if you left a couple of hairs, I'm gonna point it out. And if you ask me, like, hey, why didn't mine win? I'm gonna go up to you and explain to you this could have been done, better.
Mhm.
Perhaps you messed up on something and you didn't even realize that it was there. You just like, you forgot. You genuinely just forgot in the moment. And
Mhm.
sometimes that happens. It's happened to me. So, like that's something that I also realized that I didn't necessarily take the time to realized that I had made that jump already from being a competitor to being a judge and then
A
also
teacher.
even showcasing too. Like
Right.
I didn't take the time to just like I was just caught up in the moment, I guess. And like now my next big thing is just to, continue to show people what I have to do and like show them my designs. I love doing designs. That's my favorite thing to do.
You know what's funny? You was like, I never knew, but you have because in the beginning when you shared the story about seeing your mom. Was your mom cutting your brother's hair?
Yeah, she used to buzz
So
her hair sometimes.
so you was judging then, and then when your brother, you noticed you put the cowlick, you pointed that out. You knew
Yeah.
how the hair shouldn't needed to be laid, how it should be cut. And when your brother came home and had that moment where he was like, "Man, like you just you jumped to it." So you always had that ability in you. It was always around you. It was
Yeah.
always in you. Like you said, you're a competitor. You're an athlete. So you're
I feel
judging
like
everything on the next encounter. Like, how can I counter this? How can I make this move? I'm gonna make this. How can I make this move? So you're doing that with your haircuts. You're following what will make this line. If I went this way, how would this direction go of the hair? If I went that way, how would so you're looking at it as a whatever what position do you play?
For soccer,
Yeah.
I'm a striker, forward.
Oh, okay. So you always so you ready to destroy your competition. So yeah. So like even when you on stage and or now like you said judging, you're coming at it as a competitor's persona. Like so
Yeah,
yeah. So like you want the person to be in the zone, like to see it before you do it. You want them to see it. So I love to hear your story about being someone that was like on the field saying I'm a striker, then went from your brother in that moment to strike that. Now everybody's like, hey, I need her to cut my hair. Whoever cutting your hair, I need them to cut my hair. Now you said you went through the journeys of like, and then I honestly I went through your page and I went all the way down to the bottom, like seeing your cuts from the beginning when you was in the
there we go.
garage.
And we thought those were good. Like we thought those were good. I promise.
But to see that and then see the elevation keep rising and keep going, and then seeing like the cuts transformation from each, and then seeing the designs to the paintwork to the sprays, like you're amazing.
Thank
You're
you.
you're, you're truly dope.
Thank you. I
So
appreciate that.
yeah. so
I still haven't finished. I have a project that I'm doing currently. I can't really put it out there just yet.
yeah.
It's something that I'm working on. Kind of like on the DL because I'm the type that I like
All
to
right,
do things.
you can tell me. I won't tell nobody.
It has to do with designs. It has to do with designs. No, I'm learning a lot of new things about designs that I didn't necessarily know,
Yeah.
but I forgot to mention earlier, when I first started, since I've always been intrigued about like art and all of that. When I first started, I started looking at like barbers that could, like I remember watching some of the 360 Easy videos and
I was gonna ask
Big
you like, yeah,
West, yeah,
yeah,
and I saw the one that stood out the most for me was Rob the original. I
yeah,
saw his content and it was like the horses, it
yeah,
was
right.
the portraits on people's
Yeah,
heads, and it was
yeah,
just like that. Like to me, that caught my attention.
yeah, that's insane.
Till this day, like I still don't know how to do portraits. Like I'm going to learn how to do
Somebody asked me to
portraits.
design on the horse. I was like, nah, I'm cool.
I did that too already, and
Yeah.
yeah, and so I was like
Yeah.
one day, and I finally got to do that this year. I finally got to do my first design on a horse this year, and it was amazing.
Okay.
It's just like one of
I'm
those
so
things that
scared.
it's
I'm
like.
like, this horse gonna look at me drawing. I'm like, what the? Bah!
For real. Hey, I had a horse that I did with Jelly,
Yeah,
and that horse tried kicking us like every like 2-3 seconds. Like we had to be just on the lookout, like just make sure
yeah,
that the horse wasn't gonna kick us. But it's if you love what you do, it's true what they say. You don't ever work a single day in your life,
yeah, yeah,
and I feel that like to the brim. Like I love doing designs, I love cutting hair, I love talking to people, I love doing everything that comes with barbering, but I feel like you always have to have a goal that you have to achieve. Because if you go in blindsided, there's a lot of room for error for sure.
yes,
But for me, it was trying to become one of those top dogs in the industry. That was one of the things that I wanted to do, and seeing something that I wasn't able to achieve in the moment and wanting to achieve that is what continues to push me even more. So like seeing that like I can't do the portraits just yet because I feel like I'm gonna mess up. I don't do them just yet. I'm not gonna say I don't draw because I do draw. Like I do draw on the side, but I'm not at the level that like the top dogs are just yet. I am working my way up there and I'm going to become one, but it's all a mentality perspective too.
yeah.
A
It
lot of
is.
people don't know
Yeah,
that. Like you have to be super, super like mentally strong
yeah,
to be able to get to where you need to be for yourself. Because if you do it for somebody else as well, it doesn't necessarily go the way that you want it to. So for me, like I was able to meet Rob this year too and work alongside with him too, and I was amazed. Like I don't know how, like I didn't know how to act because I was just so shocked that he was even in the building, and like it was just
Yeah.
shocking for me to see him like face first, like for very first time, and it just happened to be at my first expo that I competed at too, and I
Oh,
didn't even have the guts to go up to him and like talk to him or anything.
yeah.
I went to like 2 3 competitions, and I didn't even go up to say hi because I couldn't, like I just couldn't.
Yeah.
And like
No, I get it.
you work through things, like little by little, and you start seeing how everything starts just falling into place. It's honestly really really amazing to see.
I love that with every detail of sharing your teaching. You're sharing information that is definitely gonna spark and elevate someone that's watching this, or when I share it, that the words that you're speaking are definitely insightful and definitely uplifting. Um, you're also right now being an educator because you're educating the mindset of someone that might be going through two tunnels of their life and they don't know which way they want to go. But to hear your journey, hear your growth, see the things that you was once in your path, but then you transition. You're still growing, you're still developing, but you're mastering it. And you're not just doing it; you're mastering it. Collectively taking everything that you have and you're putting it in this box to grow. Um, with that being said, what is it that you're seeing in the industry, which might be sounding like little lacking, not really developing yourself, taking it to the next level? What is it that you're starting to notice that you would like to share? Just not in a pointing way, but in a way that you're sharing information that will help someone say, stop lacking and keep developing and keep growing and keep mastering. What is it that you would like to see more of within your environment and overall in this industry?
um on that one, I feel like I still need to master how to do more creative shear work. Like the shear work, I feel like I'm pretty good at doing the shear work. It's just more of like I have to still, like, something in me just continues to tell me, like, do more shear work. And
Okay.
like it's just something that it does scare me because I don't want to mess somebody's hair up, but
Yeah.
I know that I have to go through all of that and get rid of the fear and just do it, because a lot of barbers, they skip that process of doing the shear work. Like, they don't like it. A lot of barbers do not like shear work,
Yeah.
and that's something that, like, it's been like that for years. So I feel
Hmm.
like the shear work definitely is something that, like, not just myself, but other barbers too should take the time to take in consideration. Like, maybe I need to work on my show work. So I feel like that one is one that I feel like I could definitely still work with, and also like the content creating, being more creative with my content for sure. I feel like I have a lot of potential with my content to do a lot more stuff that I just probably don't do right now.
Yeah. I feel you on that. I feel collectively, um, I want to learn more coloring. Been doing a lot of coloring lately. Um, but I have where women like cut their hair real low and then they ask me to do different colors. So I have been developing myself on that. I've been teaching myself how to braid. So I'm in the beginning stages
That
of
one
braiding.
too, dude.
Yeah.
That one too. I had a friend teach me a one on one.
Yeah.
Um, she's really good with her braids. She actually competes too, and
Yeah.
it's so intriguing to me. But the thing is, I know that the moment that I start it, I'm going to want to go all in on with it. That I'm not even going to think about the rest of it. I'm gonna be so hyper focused on that one thing that I want to master that I want to start right now. I need to master the project that I'm doing right now in order
Yeah,
for me to move on to that
yeah.
second thing that I've been kind of doing on the DL.
I
so,
got
so
you.
yeah, so I get you on that. Trust
Yeah.
me.
And I also want to compete. I joined this industry really late in my life. So I
Mhm.
started, I'm in my 40s now.
Okay.
So um, sometimes I'll be like getting invited to some of these expos and I'm like, man, like, should I go on stage? Should I compete? Or should I just stay more behind the scenes and just do more of my content and just develop my, but I feel like if you want to be, I mean, just from my, I feel like if you really want to like take it to the next level and be considered a real barber hairstylist, you need to be on the stage.
At some moment, if you want to make that jump, you should just go for it.
Yeah.
Just go for it, man.
Yeah.
Trust me. I When I started competing, I've I don't know if you guys even knew that too, but I've only been competing for a year. Um, yeah, I've only been competing for a year.
That's crazy.
I was still in school when I started competing, and I didn't know that that I could compete without a license. Like I didn't have any knowledge or anything like that about like the competition itself, or I just thought I had to wait until I had my license and then I could go and compete. But Bebe Latino actually came to my class to teach, to my school to teach a class, and he convinced me to do the female, was it female fade? I think it was
Okay.
female fade.
Yeah.
But he convinced me to go to his expo, the Golden State Expo,
Okay.
and he uh he went back a second time, and I remember I wanted to do the freestyle, and I didn't even think about it, and I just hopped into the pro freestyle, and I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm going all in.
Yeah.
So I went all in, and it humbled me. It humbled me bad. I didn't even use enhancements at the time. Like
Yeah.
I didn't even know, how to use them properly or anything. I went and I had bought the enhancement pencil that he has,
Yeah.
and that was the only like enhancement that I had ever used.
Yeah.
But on all my haircuts, never used enhancements when I started up until this last year.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I went in there and like I looked at them and I literally saw the haircuts just walking past by, and I was literally like mouth wide open. And I think that's why I fell in love with competing too. It's just that seeing those things that I'm like, I could do that. Like I
You're
just
right.
see it and I'm like, no, there's no way I'm not gonna try to do it. I know that I can do it. And so um I started seeing Bebe at like all the expos I was going to, and like eventually I became one of his ambassadors, and I'm grateful for that too because he puts a lot of like, these little thoughts behind your brain. Like he makes you have an open, well, not makes you, but he really opens up your eyes to certain things. And he's a great mentor. He will pick at your brain like, what do you think about this? And like he'll push us to do the things that we're kind of scared to do. So I'm really grateful to have him around me, and just see that experience that he's had in the industry already, and be able to grow from what he's also had to grow alone. So it's really nice to be around people like that. So trust me, get on the stage.
All right. All right. I'm
You
gonna
just got to
promise.
go for it. That
I
fear is the
promise.
only thing that's
Oh,
stopping you.
yeah. For real. We just spoke about fear.
Yeah, literal. Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, for even for competitors too, like you guys might see me all composed up there, but I am freaking out. My hands are literally like this the whole time. Like, trust
right.
me. And I've been doing it for like a year now, so I mean, everybody just kind of has different ways that they deal with things, and fear is one of the hardest things and biggest step ups that you have to do in the industry. You're always going to have some fear of something, and you just kind of have to figure out like, I have to go for it. And if I don't go for it, the only person that's stopping me from going to go get it is myself. So that's how it really goes. And you either grow or you stay stuck where you're at.
Stay stagnant. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
get you. I have three questions for you,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna open up to the floor and let anybody that's tuning in that been joining us and hearing this amazing story of this wonderful lady. And if you have questions, you're welcome to put it in that inbox, and she will click on it and she will respond back. So one of my questions is, I always like to say, if you can go back maybe to that 12-year old, maybe 15-year old, 16-year old, 18-year old now, and change maybe the perspective of that person at that age, would you change anything or would you just leave it as is because you are who you are right now?
Uh, like in what moment? Like whenever? Like you're talking about when I first started?
Oh, just anything.
Mm. Honestly, I don't think I would really change what happened, like with the car accident and everything, because I feel like it's truthfully built me into the person that I am.
Okay.
Um, I feel like I've helped a lot of people too, see things from a different perspective. Even in the industry, I have a couple friends that they kind of went through some traumatic events too, and
Hmm.
people overcome things differently. And I feel like for me, if I wouldn't have had that event happen to me, perhaps I would have never found out that I was even capable of doing the things that I do. Like I would have never ever like held a pair of clippers. Actually, no, that's a lie, because I messed up my dad's hair when I was 16, 17.
Yeah.
They made so much fun of me because of that. That was the first time I actually ever grabbed a pair of clippers. I cut my dad's hair for a wedding, and it was so bad.
Yeah.
Um, but I would have
Bounce
never
back.
actually. It was bad.
I say you
It was
bounce
like,
back though.
oh yeah. It was so high up, and I feel like if I wouldn't have had that car accident, yeah, it took away something that I really really wanted, but had it not been that way, I also wouldn't have learned, that I'm able to do this. And sorry, I'm getting emotional, but
No, 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 keep going.
um, uh, damn.
We good. We got it. We got it. This is what this platform is about. You talking that shit right now, see?
Yeah, literally. So had that not happened back then, I wouldn't have been able to grow into the person that I am, even like mentally. Um, Last year too, right before sorry, I'm gonna have to take a quick little break to clean these tears real quick. Give me a sec.
Do your thing. Do your thing.
Um, I didn't really put this out when it happened, but I lost my grandfather last year in November. Um,
Sorry to hear
it
that.
was November 2nd. The only reason why I remember and I want to speak on that is I had an expo in San Francisco, the at the Cow Palace. Um, and it was the San Francisco Barber Expo, and that was gonna be one of the times I was gonna compete with Lucci Blends in tag team, and we had been working so hard to get our first place trophy in tag team, because that was like we started in Oakland and we tried and tried and tried and we couldn't get a placement, and so we kept working and working and working, and that one came up and we were so stoked, and we had a whole plan for everything. And um, the Saturday before the expo, I got told that my grandpa had passed away, and I still went to work, and I was thinking like I'm not gonna go to the expo. I'm not gonna go to the expo, and I was gonna compete in the women's category, the women's taper, the freestyle, and then the tag team. And so when that came up, that same day I went home early and I talked to my sister, and we got our plane tickets to go to my grandpa's funeral, and we got them. I planned everything accordingly. I decided I was going to go to the expo, and I was gonna go compete, and I was gonna do it for him. And so I went to the expo, and everything was like on the dot. I couldn't wait for the award, so I had to tell Bebe if I did win, that if he could just take him with him, and I would get him later down the road. Um, but I was only able to compete and get my model to get checked for tag team. And then after that, I had to leave immediately to get home, grab my stuff, and hop on a plane. So I went to the expo and they gave me the numbers and stuff for the competitors. Well, it just happened to be that the numbers that they gave me, it was my grandpa's birthday.
Oh wow.
Um, it was my grandpa's birthday, and I remember I like broke down,
Yeah.
and I was like, what a coincidence. And so, I like my mind was like not there, like it was not there. And so I still went and I competed, and I remember I was like super quiet and like I wasn't really like me. Like I'm always like smiling and stuff, and I did get asked if I was mad or something. I was like, nah, like I didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was like, nah, like I'm cool. And I competed, and after I did tag team, like, and I told Luciano too. I was like, hey man, like I gotta go right after my grandpa just passed away, like literally the day before. And after this, I gotta go. Like I just didn't want to leave you hanging because we've been working so hard for this, and he understood. And well, I left and I went to Fresno. I drove to Fresno, and the whole time, like I'm nervous, like I just competed, and I don't know if I'm gonna win, and it's already nerve-wracking being there, not even like being there to see or receive it. And like I remember they started like I started getting notifications, and it
Yeah.
was like my friends that were there, they sent me like the video of like them calling my number, and I got first place in the female taper, and then I got first place with Luciano for the very first time there, and it felt great because like I didn't I didn't give up, no matter the fact that I lost somebody that was sorry, I lost somebody that was the main reason why um
Yeah.
I actually went to school for, because he always told me like don't give up, like you need to open up your shop. And just seeing that throughout the process, like I lost him, and still going to go compete and competing for him, and then getting the numbers and stuff, it was pretty touchy. And till now, like everything that I kind of do, like it has a purpose. Everything that you do, it has to have a purpose. No matter what you think, there's always a purpose behind everything. So at least for me, mine is more personal. A lot of people, they have different, different stories to it, but barbering to me is more on the personal level. Um, I'm grateful, like I can help other people see that and see different sides of barbering, because the side that I'm into is more the quality side, um, and bonding with your clients. Um, Mastering the art of barbering is what I like to actually do. So seeing all that unravel from, not giving up on something that you did for your family in the first place and you continue to do for your family, it's honestly one of the greatest things that can happen to someone. And hopefully somebody that's on here, they don't give up, and they go and compete, and they find that strength in them to even just show up, because even showing up, who knows, maybe you being there, it'll even you even you um it'll just like a lot of the times I go to the events and I don't even have a model with me. I find most of my models at the event. I don't
Yeah.
know if a lot of you guys do that too, but you might just be there. You might not even have your clippers on you. And it might just be the day you're like, you know what? Let me ask somebody for some clippers and trimmers and knock this out right here and there. I'd do it if I didn't have my stuff and I really wanted to compete. I would ask somebody, hey, can I borrow your clippers? Can I borrow your blow dryer, your trimmer? If you really want to compete that bad, you'll figure it out. And it's happened to me too, like now that, I know more barbers that go and compete, and, like we help each other out. We compete against each other. It's fair competition, but we all help
Right.
each other out now, like at least the ones that you talk to and you're friends with and stuff, like we all help each other out. we're not competing against them. We're competing against ourselves. Did we do it better than last time? Are we actually mastering the things that we messed up last time too? So a lot of the time, it's not a personal competition, and a lot of people see it that way. And just because you also like, just because you have trophies, it doesn't mean that you have to have this super high ego and put people down because of you know oh, they don't got trophies. So what? So what if they don't have trophies? Yes, it's a great thing to have trophies and, you know, have that behind and under your belt. But I think what counts the most in the industry is the way that a person carries himself. What do you have to bring to the industry? Not just the trophies, but what do you have behind that? It's cool having those trophies, trust me, nice but they can also collect us too. So what else do you have in you, to
Yeah.
go and show the industry? So yeah.
No, that was fire. I don't even have nothing else. You answered because I had it lined up the way I wanted it, but you
I'm
went into
curious though.
every.
I'm curious what the other two questions are.
No, it's inspiration for someone that is like now moving towards this industry. What would you say to? Because I know you, like you say, you go and you speak to upcoming, barbers in this industry. What is it that you would share? What would you say? But everything that you just laid out was everything that I was gonna lead up to. So I can't even ask another question after you just delivered that.
It happens
But
sometimes, you know.
yeah, the energy was already there. It was already you was ready for this moment.
I was ready, born ready. Nah. It's a lot,
um,
you have to kind of the thing is that you have to find something that like even in like being inspired by other people, like sometimes if you think that you are the best, yes, you could be the best, but there's always somebody better than you. Like it
yeah,
doesn't matter like in what part of the industry you're in. You might be really, really good at something, but somebody else might be super good at that same trade and
mm,
even better at other ones too. So
yeah.
that moment that you think you know it all, you messed up real bad
I
because
love,
that is a
I love
moment
that.
that you will learn and you will learn the hard way that you do not know everything. Somebody or something is going to come up and show you exactly that you don't. So for me, it's more of like be super like open-minded all the time, no
Yeah,
matter what situation it is. Like you have to be super like open-minded. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to like try to stop you from doing what you
yeah,
want.
yeah, I've been there.
And it's happened to me too. It's happened to me
Yeah,
too. I've had
yeah.
people tell me like, "Oh, what you're trying to do, it's not gonna work. Like you have to be behind the chair, all your life. You don't have to. It's not a blueprint for everybody. It might be a
Right.
blueprint for a lot of people, but there's different ways and different goals for everybody. Everybody has a goal that they want to achieve. And just because I want something doesn't mean anybody else like wants to do it. Like my goal might not be the same as yours. It might be
Hmm.
similar, but it might not be the same thing. And I can't force you to think that you have to do the same thing I do to get you to where I want to be. You're going to do something else in your own path that's going to lead you to where you actually want to be. So it's very difficult sometimes when you got like, all these people telling you things in your ear, like, you have to do this, you have to do that. Like, you have to be very, very smart and mature to tell them, like, I respect you, I respect your views,
Right.
but, you do not have the power to dictate what I do.
Yeah.
So,
It's
yeah.
funny. I took a course in UCLA, and that was one of the topics. Like when someone is giving you their opinion or their advice, it's not like you have to always agree upon it, but you can be like, "Oh, thank you. I'll
Yeah.
take that in mind." Like,
Yeah.
but it
Well,
doesn't
it's
mean
because it
that
can
you,
take it two
yeah,
ways.
yeah,
You can either get offended or you can be
yeah,
like, you know what? Like like maybe he's right. Or maybe he is
mm,
completely wrong and you're like, yeah, no,
yeah,
you're wrong. But it's like
yeah,
how they say like even life lessons. Life lessons
hmm,
are the same thing. Like some people might see it as like a super bad tragedy, but there's
hmm,
other people that they're gonna be like, okay, well, I'm not gonna do that again. Like, maybe you jumped off, freaking 8 foot tall building and you broke your foot and somebody told you don't jump off of there. And what did you do? No, yes, I can land it. And there you go. You broke your foot. Are you going to jump again? Absolutely not. So,
yeah,
things
yeah,
like that, like anywhere in like the barber industry, any industry, or even life in general, it's
Yeah.
gonna go that route too. You have to be able to take it both ways.
Well, I was truly grateful and honored to have this moment with you, to have you come on my channel, speak your truth, talk your it was amazing. I'm looking forward to seeing you at some upcoming expos. Looking forward to seeing you if you're still competing. Maybe you be competing, and I'll be competing
Yeah.
on one stage as well. But I love what you're doing in this industry. I love who you are. I'm thank you, and I'm honored for you to share everything that you shared today with me and everyone else that was tuned in. If there's anybody that's still on our IG live that wants to share anything or ask a question or want to get some more knowledge, do it now. Let's get it going.
Enjoyed here. I appreciate you.
Yeah, we definitely
Yeah, we need more
appreciate you.
women in the industry, though. That is one thing that I will say. We need more women in the industry. There's nothing to fear about the men talking their thing too, because I've heard some talk about that. But I feel like we definitely need more women to just jump in there,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
especially even in the competitions and the expos. Like that feeling of beating the guys is so amazing. Because I've seen some guys get so salty that it's me, beating them. It's so funny sometimes, but especially at the beginning when like I was first starting, like it was so
they
amazing to
go,
just like the
they go
faces
that
to just
striker.
yeah, it's just amazing, It's one of those things that it's nice to see. And it's nice to see more females are starting to come out and like, just go out there and do their thing. But it would be so amazing to see more women like just dominate the industry. But I feel like it's coming. I think the time is coming for sure.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a lot of like amazing women. There's a lot of upcoming women that are doing their thing, shining their light. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm all for it. I want to see it. I want to see everything grow in this industry.
Yeah.
Like you said, I started late, but I'm I love the transition after COVID as far as like what you can now share and elevate yourself behind the chair and beyond the chair. I love to see the growth, like more visual of everything that's going on in our industry. There's a lot of still like, overall it's gonna be some things that don't need to be shared, don't need to be talked about. Um, we don't need to be clashing with each other about why that person did this or why this person using that to cut their hair. Like, just that nitpicking stuff is like
Yeah.
bullshit. But I want to really see growth. I want to really see elevation. I want to really see leadership, and maybe, like you said, maybe you can be the one that sparks the movement for the women in the barber industry. Yeah,
Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully, I hope,
Call them the strikers, the
I
striker
know
girls.
for real. No, I know. Mark my words. And it's. I know that it's coming, and we're working on it. But for like tag team,
Yeah,
I'm gonna beat the guys with another female, and I'm just calling it right now. We're gonna work on that.
yeah.
I'm beating the guys with another female in tag team. I've been saying this, and I'm going to continue to say it. We're beating the guys. That's all I'm like my friends that are barbers, like we've talked about it various times, and a lot of the females that I know, they know this. And
Yeah,
I'm gonna make it a reality. So hopefully, that does it continues to inspire people too, like you just never you can never be content. At least from my point of view, I can't be content. I'm one of those people that I'm not gonna be the person to be content, and I'm always gonna look for something to do in the industry. So hopefully that is one of the things that becomes me.
yeah,
I have a lot to still grow in the industry and a lot to figure out. I feel like I like honestly, like I feel like this past year has been the most growth I've ever had in the industry because I was just cutting from home. You know, I was in the garage. I didn't know anything about the industry itself. I just knew how to cut hair, and that was it. And I was still
Well,
figuring it out.
let me ask you this. From I know from a guy's perspective, it might be the same,
Mhm.
but what information would you give? Um, you said females that are now getting in this industry, want to elevate in this industry, and is looking for a barber that would fit their personality. Like, how was it when you was looking for a barbershop, and what would you give them the key information how to pursue that?
So I wasn't in. So I was in the garage, for a couple years, and I would consider it was more of like the studio life for like maybe 4 years and a half ish.
Okay,
I want to say almost five, and then I actually haven't been at this shop for very long either. I've moved. This is my third shop. I'm
okay,
still like kind of like new to the shop, but I was over at a shop in Turlock, and it wasn't fitting like my demands, um, and I just wanted more growth. And then so I moved to another one, and I think overall, you as a female have to feel like the people around you, they respect you for your work.
right,
That's the biggest thing overall. Just because the moment that they don't respect you for your work and it's for something else, like if they just respect you because you're a female, they're not gonna see you as an actual barber. They're just gonna see like, oh, she's just a female here. But if you can prove to the barbershop too, not that you have to prove it, but if you know how to cut hair and you're very, you're determined to continue to grow, a barbershop that allows you to grow with them is going to be the biggest thing. So for me, I look for is the shop a good environment? Do they all get along with each other? Because that's going to help you grow too. Because if you have people wanting to help each other out around you, you're gonna be, if there's three people trying to help, that fourth person grow, you're gonna be that fifth one trying to help that fourth person grow. So your environment, either it crushes you or it blooms you. So
yeah,
having people that have been in the industry longer than you also be in the same barbershop, as well as like seeing somebody brand new come in, that also like matters. But overall, you just kind of have to sit in the barbershop and see if that environment is going to be you. um a lot of
right,
like physically seeing it for yourself, so maybe spending a couple hours in the shop, like seeing how they like if they mess around with each other, like the barbers, like if they're talking to each other and they're having their talks, like do they respect themselves to the level that it's still professional while there's clients in the chair, because you know how it goes with your clients, like you become like they're your friends, like that's your
right,
actual friends right there. Your
yeah,
clients, they're your friends, like so sometimes you have to pay attention to all of that. Are your clients also like, when you start at that shop, how do your clients feel? Do they feel relaxed being in that shop? Do they feel tension? How are they
Mhm.
being welcomed in the shop? If you walk through that door and nobody told you like, hey, how's it going, like you have an appointment today, or you just walking in or something, like at least a hi, you're not
right.
in the right barbershop. Like if they don't even say hi to you, you're in the wrong one already. But
I love that.
I've like for me, I've moved around a little bit. I This is my third shop, and I'm grateful to be in this shop.
Yeah,
I'm grateful to be in the position that I'm at for sure.
that's dope.
Yeah,
Well, I'm not gonna hold any more of your time. I know we're gonna meet somewhere at some
yeah,
expo pretty soon,
definitely.
but like I always want to say, yeah, I have created this platform, but my platform is definitely for you guys. So if you ever have something going on, if you want to share anything, if you all of a sudden some sparks in your mind about something you want to talk about with me, we can always jump on here anytime you want. So this is my casa to your casa.
I appreciate you, and I thank you for having me too.
Man,
I
this was
appreciate
awesome.
you as well.
Yeah. Thank you for, taking time out, making time and jumping on. And
Of
like I said,
course,
whenever you're ready to do it again, just let me know.
my pleasure.
All right. Have a great one.
Have a great night, guys. See ya.
Bye. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know it's been a minute. I apologize. I've been doing my thing. I've been shifting. I've been elevating. I will be at the Las Vegas Expo September, what is it, 27th, 28th. If you guys want to holler at me, you guys gonna be there. Show some love. Let's chop it up. Let's get it going. But to everybody that's been following my platform from the day it started to now, or all my new followers, all my new upcomers, all my new people that I've been interviewing, even to my older interviews, that's some of them are will reconnect and get back on talking barber shit again. I got Sam the barber out of Miami. We gonna be chopping it up. I got some more and more people that is ready to chop it up on my platform. We're gonna keep going. We gonna keep elevating. We gonna keep lifting. That's what my platform was about. That's why I talk my shit. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Good night. I'm out.